Tupac, my brother, was king of the hill, top dog, king of rap. And with it comes a lot of jealousy.
Oh wait, maybe I said that shit because he got Tupac killed.
They're pretty direct there from 50 Cent.
Yes, it was.
You know, and I know, that everyone believes that Diddy was involved in both these shootings. That is what the streets have said for 27 years.
We all were familiar with all the rumors and stuff. I said, yeah, let me talk to him.
What did he say that day when he called you?
You know, I had my guys with me, Thug Life guys, and we heard what he had to say. He basically said he ain't have nothing to do with my brother's murder.
We don't talk about things that are nonsense.
You think he was lying?
Quite possibly, and it's kind of looking that way. Here we are 27, 28 years later. The theory involving him is quite high on the list. Our family, you know, we still suffer. He was all wrapped up, but he was still shaking the bed. He really wanted to tell me something. I'm assuming it was something that had to do with the hit.
I get the feeling quite strongly that you don't believe Diddy. I don't think you believe a word of it.
It seems like he got a whole bunch of power, like absolute power. Absolute power corrupts absolutely. Heavy is the head that wears the crown.
What's your message to Sean Combs? Tupac Shakur was American hip-hop's brightest light until he was shot 4 times in a drive-by attack in 1996. His death shocked the world, and Tupac's legend has only grown since his murder, along with the fever speculation about who planned it, who ordered it, and who did it. For 27 years, it was one of America's highest-profile unsolved crimes, until finally, a year ago, Dwayne "Keefy D. Davis was charged. He'd bragged about being inside the Cadillac from which the fatal shots were fired, albeit not by him, and awaits trial as the last surviving suspect. But there are many unanswered questions and a tangled web of claims embroidering notorious figures and an infamous East Coast-West Coast gang rivalry. Many people speculate that this web entangles P. Diddy. Sean Combs is, of course, facing trial on a battery of charges, including sex trafficking and racketeering. With his alleged crimes under the spotlight, members of Tupac's family have this week hired an investigator to examine the links between Diddy and the murder. And joining me now is Tupac Shakur's brother, Mopreme. Well, Mopreme, thank you very much indeed for joining me.
Good afternoon, good morning, good evening. I don't know what time it is there.
It's an early evening in the UK. Are you in LA?
Currently.
Yeah.
Shout out to all of my people across the pond.
Well, it's great to have you here on Uncensored. We're very keen to talk to you because obviously a lot has happened to P. Diddy in recent weeks. He's now languishing in prison. Let me start first of all, your reaction to what's happened to him.
My reaction is that it's a mess. You know, and which, you know, I have nothing to do with, but I wanted to make it clear that the family is pursuing an investigation into my brother's death. Wherever the investigation leads, that's where it leads. It is not about that guy specifically. It's about justice for my brother.
You were Tupac's older stepbrother. And I want to, just for the benefit of viewers who may not be familiar with your brother, with what happened, with the rivalry, and obviously his subsequent murder, just very quickly paint me a picture of how all this happened.
Well, for many years, you know, as far as the hip-hop rap world goes, you know, Tupac, my brother, was king of the hill, top dog, king of rap. And with it comes a lot of envy, jealousy, and, you know, all types of things. And all I can make of it is there were groups of people who were jealous and envious and full of hate.
There were two shootings involving a brother. One he survived, one he sadly did not survive. There was this whole East Coast, West Coast war. There have been books about this, documentary films about this, dramatized movies about this. Do you think we know the truth? You said your family's launched an investigation into what happened to your brother. Do you think there are still a lot of unanswered questions?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. It's been an ongoing mystery for 27 years. uh, with the arrest in Vegas, there was a break. There was an opportunity to get closer to the truth. Um, this is, this is ongoing business for us. My Mama Faney pursued an investigation early on, soon after his murder, um, in which nothing came of it. Um, so we were left with no answers. No answers for 27 years. Now we might have an opportunity to get some answers.
The first time that Tupac was shot, where were you and how did you hear about that? And what was your feeling instinctively about who may have been behind it?
When Pac got shot the first time, I was in Atlanta. I was worried about him because he did, he rocked a lot of jewelry. We like jewelry, rocked a lot of jewelry, but New York is notoriously known for being a home of the stick-up kid. And I advised him not to, be out there like that. And so I thought that it might just have been a robbery for his possessions, and it seems like there was more to it. We felt that, but also felt that Pac was safe in New York because we are from New York, and we had a lot of friends and allies there at the time that we felt would look out for Pac. So, we were quite confused.
We've got a clip of Tupac talking about the potential involvement of Diddy, or Puff Daddy as he was at the time, in that shooting, that first shooting. Let's take a look.
Think Puffy was involved in the shooting?
Only they can answer that question. I have my own opinion, but I wouldn't slander their name like they did mine. I wouldn't say things that I knew. You know what I mean? I believe so. I do believe so. I have proved things that I could say that would back up my claim, but this is not for the world to know about. You know what I mean? It's between me and him, and only he knows.
When you watched that, do you think he was basically saying he did think that Diddy was involved but didn't want to say so publicly?
Pac had suspicions of what had happened, but the saying, it's not what you know, it's what you can prove. And we've been, stuck in that position for quite some time, trying to get to a place where we can prove what actually happened.
But is your belief now that Diddy may have been involved in that first shooting?
I don't know, Pierce. I don't know. Thus the investigation. None of us know. This is the best way for us to get some answers, to have an actual investigation into his murder, regardless of who was responsible or the who's that were responsible. And each incident involved multiple people, planning, coordination, and we just been trying to get to the bottom of it for a long time.
But the reason there's so much speculation raging even today is that they were big rivals and there was a genuine, very bad feud, right?
It didn't start out that way. It didn't start out as rivals. That's why it's confusing. Pac was the big dog. At one time, we had plans to to work with Big. Big was on one of the first outlaw records, running from the police. It didn't start out that way. That's why we were all confused when Pac got touched in New York.
You must have talked to your brother about that. Did he confide in you any more thoughts about it?
He did, but you know how this game go. Until you could actually prove it, you can't hop out there and say it. So Pac made it very clear of his suspicions, his instincts, and we're trying to find which direction was the right direction to go in for this investigation.
Do you believe, Mopreme, that the two shootings were absolutely linked, that the same people were behind both?
I can't say I can't speak of any absolutes, Pierce.
No, is that your gut feeling?
I'm not sure.
Really?
I said I'm not sure.
No, I heard you. I just wondered whether that is really the case, or you're just reticent to say so.
I wasn't there at either incident, so that makes it very difficult for me to be, sure about anything. It's been 27 years, all kind of suspicions, all kind of, but until we could actually prove something, and it's hard. I'm not a cop. I'm not an investigator. So we are going to the people who know how to get these answers.
50 Cent went on stage last year and said this. Let's take a look.
I hate when they leave me to talk because I always say the wrong thing. Last time they left me, I said something about Puffy. You saw that? Clip?
Yeah!
I gotta stop doing that kind of shit. I've been talking to a therapist trying to help me with the shit I'm saying. I said crazy shit in my mouth for no reason. Oh wait, maybe I said that shit about Puffy because he got Tupac killed.
Oh, and that was pretty direct there from 50 Cent.
Yes, it was. Yes, it was. Fifth is from, me and him actually from the same neighborhood, Southside Jamaica. He a Queens dude. We from Queens, and he's from New York. So certain people are privy to information, and we're just trying to get some confirmation on these suspicions. Everybody's got a theory, and we're wading through the theories.
Let me ask you let me ask you a different way, because I think I understand why you're being cautious. I understand why you're hiding. Not hiding, but you're using the investigation as a reason.
I'm right here.
No, I don't mean hiding. I'll take back the word hiding, but why you're reticent again about potentially saying what is really on your mind. Because and I know, that everyone believes that Diddy was involved in both these shootings and had a direct involvement in your brother's death. That is what the streets have said for 27 years. That's why 50 Cent said it. That's why Eminem has said similar stuff. What's interesting to me about your involvement in this is that Diddy actually called you after an LA Times article in 2008 alleging he'd been involved in your brother's death. What did he say that day when he called you?
He was in town. He was in LA at the time. He was on the radio. He asked a local DJ that we all know, Big Boy, to reach out to me because he wanted to speak to me about something. This is a few years after Pac's murder, and you know, we all were familiar with all the rumors and stuff. I said, yeah, let me talk to him. So he called me, and I had my guys with me, Thug Life guys, and we heard what he had to say. He basically said he